Hey, good morning, Zane. Quick demo video for you for your Princess Low by KR Sabers, installed with the Goth Master chassis that you provided, and you also did a lot of work on the chassis, excuse me, that I'm going to point out here in a second because I thought it was really impressive. Installed with a Proffie. You got CC Sabers in here for your NeoPixel connector. Okay, this is a one-button setup, so your one switch is going to be right here. You would ask me for a blade plug. I don't really do blade plugs, and it kind of just asked you to look on Etsy. It's not really my specialty. I did have this blade plug sitting around this morning. I'm just going to throw it in your box for free. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. If you do want to use it, it will need to be cut down just a little bit. So, about a ½ inch or so you could take off with a Dremel if that's something that you want to use. But I happened to see this morning, so I'm going to put it in your box. Okay. How to get to your chassis? Unscrew the pummel. It's the only place on the Saber that comes out. So take this off right here. You have a little cap in here that I glued in. It's to push the chassis forward. It never comes out. So that's what that looks like in there. You'll see your chassis here. Just hit it on your hand once or twice, and you can pull it out. And then this is what it looks like. All right. Now the part that you did that may not pick up very well on camera, but I thought was really cool, is you went through on all these little indentations. So you've got these lines here, over here, on all these little cutouts. You put, you just got a bunch of those mother of pearl inlays that you cut and put into there. I know how much work that takes. And here in all these little speaker sections as well, you put it all in there. So that's really cool. Chose to leave the chassis white, which I think is a very nice contrast for the Saber, and also for the brass and silver pieces on the chassis, right? This is your battery with the battery wrap. We can take it out. Let's pop it out just like that. It comes out. That's what the inside looks like right there. So the negative side of your battery will always go towards your crystal chamber. All right, it's a leaf spring right there. So we'll put the battery back in. You've got a real quartz crystal that I put in here, and it's got its own NeoPixel accent. You have another NeoPixel accent that's located in this area right here. To get to the board, what you want to do is just take off this cover. It has 4 magnets on it. I did put a piece of electrical tape over the board to cover all the solder joints from this cover though, because it was riding super close. It made me a little bit nervous. I didn't want anything shorting out. The first time I wired this up yesterday, I actually had a bad board. I checked all my wiring and everything else like that, and it ended up being the board. I had to swap out the board. Something that's not happened to me in a long time, but no biggie. We got a new board in there. So, I was extra cautious with this one. All right, but easy access to your SD card, your micro USB, and everything like that. So I hid the wires as best as I could, but they're really meant to be hidden with this cover right here, and then you can't see anything. 28 millimeter Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. You've got a kill switch here. And then this is the stock pogo pin or PCB connector. So of course I put this one on your chassis, and then I left the one with the pins inside of the Saber. All right, so they're in there. When putting this in the chassis, or in the Saber rather, you're going to have to pay attention to the grooves. So, because there's screws all around this hilt, if you can see that on the inside. It may be kind of hard to see, but you know what I'm talking about because you've had this in your hands. And those need to line up with the chassis. All right, so the easiest way I could tell you is when putting it in, the battery needs to face up towards the switch. The switch right here. If you can remember that, it will go in every time. All right, but we'll go ahead and turn off this light. I've only got one sound font on here to demo it for now. All right, so we'll come over here and flip the kill switch.
You had to get rid of.
I got them both doing a little something separate so that you can tell that they're independently wired. That crystal lights up really well as well. And they're on a timer. So if we let this go and we don't turn the Saber on right away, these LEDs will time out so they don't kill your battery. All right. We'll go ahead and hang out here for a second until they time out so that you can see that they actually do. Just like that. All right. Come over here. We'll line up the top of the battery with the switch. It'll go right in. A little bit of a snug fit, but no big deal. Just take your time. And then we'll come back over here and we'll let the pummel do the rest of the work. All right, so take your pummel, screw it down tight. Power. Very loud saber. LEDs in there firing up. See the light through your windows. I gave you twist off. This guy does take a 1-inch diameter neopixel blade. And although you have drilled and tapped holes for 4 retention screws, let me find my Allen key. You currently only have 1 retention screw in it. That's how it came to me. So it should be more than enough, but if you find that it's not, you can of course put the other 3 in. All right. So blaster bolt deflex, just tap it. Blade lock up, hold the switch down, hit the saber. Play your soundtracks as a double tap on the button. And another double tap to turn it off. Just like that. All right. Now, if you were to have more than 1 sound font on here to go to the next sound font, it's just a long press on the power. We can do that now, but it will just replay the boot for this one.
Final steps.
Just like that, right? You do get shine through these holes, if you can see them right here. All right. If by some chance you don't want to use twist off, you can just hold the button down. So just hold it down. But on a 1-button setup and on general setups, really, I find the twist off is a really nice feature. All right, and it's very hard to do that accidentally. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out of this guy and go over just flipping the kill switch. You don't have to take the battery out until it's time to charge it. We'll take the pommel back off, slide our chassis out. It just timed out. We just missed it. So, once again.
People keep telling me they know me. I'm afraid no one does.
All the way around. And then come over here and we'll flip the kill switch and it turns everything off just like it should. So that is basically your Princess Low with Master Chassis. Hopefully you like the way it came out. Let me know if it makes sense and then I'll try to get this out in the mail to you today. All right, thanks.